Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Two topics for this video. One, short one, the other one, the extensive one, which actually I enjoy more than the first one. The first one, the Russians successfully, the Ministry of Defense reports that they successfully used Iskander missile strikes and attack Ukrainian airfield, military airfield, and destroy 5 Ukrainian aircraft. That's the first one. And the other one, I will tell you about the so-called free countries and the free world, which supposedly the Western countries are part of, and they can lecture everybody else on their free speech in this case. And any discrimination that a country that we don't like, we point that out, and then we invade, and we straighten things out over there. So it's about Germany, obviously, and Germany I don't think is a free country, independent sovereign country, and its free speech is no better than many countries that we call undemocratic and unfree. I will show you about alternative for Deutschland, the party that is is very close to be banned. And not only, in general, how free speech works in Deutschland über niemals nowadays. So let's start with the first article, coming from Sputnik. It is from 6 hours ago, today on the 2nd of July 2024. Russian Iskander missile strikes location of Ukraine aircraft. 5 planes destroyed, Ministry of Defense. This is what the Ukrainians claim. But not only, because I have another article coming from another media outlet where I read said yes, the Russians claim they attacked an airfield and they destroyed nothing there. So according to the Western nations, they said no, they didn't do anything. The Russian says they destroyed 5 planes. So let's read this beautiful article from the Russians. Why beautiful? Because I hope that war in Ukraine ends yesterday. The Russian armed forces carried out a group strike against a parking location of Ukrainian military aircraft in Mirhorod in the Poltava region, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Tuesday. The other ones said it was a military airfield, the other article. The Russian armed forces. Okay, the Russian armed forces carried out a group missile strike using the Iskander-M missile defense system on the parking lot of the Ukrainian military aircraft at the Mirhorod airfield. Objective Control has confirmed that destruction of military aviation equipment. So let's see what we have. What kind of damage? The Russian forces carried out a group missile strike in the Mirgorod airfield, Poltava region. As a result, 5 Sukhoi 27s, fantastic airplanes, were destroyed and 2 Sukhoi 27s were damaged, Russian Ministry of Defense said. So this is according to the Russians. So 5 destroyed and then 2 more damaged according to the Russians. Correct? Correct. Now let's go to the main thing, which is the freedom of speech in Germany. This is how democracy works in garbage countries, and that is in countries who pretend to have a veneer of freedom of speech, democracy, freedom, the will of the people, liberties, and all that. You know how you can test that? Saying something that the government deems unpopular or they don't like, and then you're going to find out how much freedom and how many liberties supposedly you got, how many rights. Remember, temporary privileges. Just rock their boat a little bit, which you are entitled to. Remember, who was that? I can't remember. Who was that? French philosopher. Excuse me, doesn't really matter. At this point, when I remember, I'm old. What do you want? Can you see the white hair here? Anyway, he says, you know, I might dislike or I might not agree with the things you say, but I will die in order for you to say it. So Descartes, I think it doesn't really matter. What was said was good, even if it was a bad dude, that is good. So the same here. Even if I don't like what someone else says, I will fight for your right. And the same thing should go the other way around. Why? Because once you're gonna ban my speech because you don't like it, when some other people will come in charge and they will do the same thing to you. So fight it now, so you don't wait for the enemy to come to your doorsteps like the Russians waited for NATO to come to Ukraine. Bad mistake, naivete. Well, what are you gonna do, Putin? He said one regret that he's got, or one advice that he would give himself as a youngster would be, don't trust the West. Too late, baby doll. Too late, the same Stefan the Great, Stefan cel Mare, the Romanian king, said on his deathbed. He said, don't trust the West, trust better the Turks. When I read that, when I was much younger, studying history, and I said, what the hell is this guy talking about? The West is the best. Yeah, okay, at certain things is, at certain things ain't. Now, German court bans Alternative für Deutschland members from owning firearms on extremism claims. So in Germany, there's some laws like Macron legally took the pension reform law and signed it and gave it. That was all legal. One person made the decision to do that. But hey, France is a democracy, a free country, right? No, it's not. It's controlled, very much controlled. Now what's going on here? So if in Germany a group or a party, which should be, to a certain extent, but they're expanding it, is declared by the government, by some courts, by some judges, that you are an extremism, like for instance, I guarantee you that I would be probably thrown in that category because I say things that are not supposed to be said out loud, and therefore rock the little boat. You would be labeled as extremist. I know if you're labeled as extremist or something like challenging the Constitution and all that. Let's say I say, well, I disagree with the Constitution. I can say that how much I want. I don't like it. Well, I don't like that. I don't like this kind of women. I like those kind of women. Oh my God, no, you're an extremist. You have to like all women. No, I don't like all women. I like a certain kind of women. Oh my God, Amy, you are very much discriminating. Yes, I am. So you do the same thing. You discriminate between this shoe and the other shoe. You like this one, fuck the other one. The same here. Anyway, so they if they label you with extremist group, they will legally hire their surveillance institutions, like I say FBI, NSA in America, but over there they have their own garbage agency that's going to really infiltrate you legally. Your organizations will listen to you, will watch you legally. Why? Because you are a bad boy, bad group. So here, these guys cannot own firearms. Germans cannot own firearms in general, even though we wrote their constitution. I'm sorry, they wrote their constitutions in 1945, emulating after our constitution. But hey, they left out the right to bear and carry guns. Why? You know why. Anyway, so here you have, they can't have that because someone labeled them, all of them. So if you belong to you are a member of a group, regardless how good or how bad you are, because you're a member, you're out. Moscow. A court in Germany ruled on Monday that members of the right-wing Alternative for Germany, AfD, party could not own firearms, citing the party's potential anti-constitutional behavior. So they assigned already intent, and the intent already is turned into behavior. So if the government suspects that you might engage in acts in the future, then we'd have to prevent that. How do you like that? So if I see a car, driving a little bit higher than, let's say, the speed limit, I can ban that person's driving a car because he might hit his ex-wife because he saw her with a new boyfriend. No. Of course not. But hey, that's in free world. In the free world, that's in Germany and France and the great United States as well. Now it says here, and I'm quoting, the fact that the Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution. Isn't the Constitution something that you can say, you know what, I don't like that, or you have to like everything? Well, you have to like everything in it. Like for instance, in a Bible, you can say I don't like this part of the Bible or that part of the Bible. Why? Because supposedly, or reportedly, the Bible is the divine inspiration, under divine inspiration. So everything that's in the Bible must be 100% true. because it's under divine, inspiration. And all those prorocs, or how do you call them, whatever they are, they came out and say, well, this is what's going to happen. You have to believe in that because that's under the divine influence. The same here. It seems like the Constitution, you cannot say, I don't like that thing. You're allowed in a free world, not in Germany. It seems like, it says here, the fact that the federal office, and I'm quoting, for the protection of the Constitution classifies a political party as a suspected case, suspected, not proven, suspected, of an anti-constitutional activities means, as a rule, and it's bold, that its members are considered to be too unreliable to possess firearms. The ruling read. You got that? All right. Germany, free world. Like the Düsseldorf Administrative Court thus ruled to dismiss a complaint filed by 2 AfD members who had their gun permits voided. The married couple, who the court says own 224 guns between them, were ordered to hand over or destroy their arsenal and ammunition. Personal. I can buy how many weapons I want. No, the government should not tell me what kind of weapons I should own and how many I should own if I'm free. It's none of your business how many I have. You, the government, will have more than I will have ever. So if you have a bazooka, I should have a bazooka. Well, you have more bazookas than I. So don't, be good, government, be good. Anyway, so that's one article. It says the verdict can be appealed in a higher regional court given its legal implications for other AfD members. The Düsseldorf court said the Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution, BFD, remember, that's like a secret police, the German domestic security agency, they keep us safe, the German safe and drugged up and that's why they keep them, labeled AfD branches in the states of Saxony, where they have most success, Thuringia and Saxony-Anhalt as right-wing extremists last year. If they do that all over the place, next step is love. Next step is banning political parties. Why? They get more popularity, and AfD gets more popularity. That means what? Are you going to ban a group of people who has certain kind of ideas? Yes, they will. And they did it before. Not only the Germans, the Americans did it too during the Second World War with the Japanese and German minorities, if you remember. But hey, they gave the Japanese $15,000, I don't know, 20 years ago, 15 as, here's some peanuts money because we held you in captivity. Garbage. Despite this, AfD came second in the European Parliament polls in Germany in June, overtaking Chancellor Olaf Scholz's center-left social communist Democrats. So what does that mean? That's more popular. So if you're more popular, you're going to ban it? Yep. Because that's a free world and the will of the people, democracy goes out the door. Next one. Next article comes from Sputnik. Bavarian court enables German counterintelligence to monitor AfD in Bavaria. The Munich Administrative Court has rejected the claim of the Alternative for Germany AfD party against the Bavarian Office for the Protection of the Constitution, which suspected the party of right-wing extremism, enabling the agency to continue monitoring of the AfD. Monitoring meaning spying. Now, the left, the communists are okay, but these ones, nay. All right, the monitoring starting in 2022, and it's expected overcome was a report that would either confirm or remove the initial suspicion. Ooh, but until then you have no rights, right? It seems like in May, a higher administrative court in the western German state of North Rhine-Westphalia ruled that federal agency's decision to classify the party as, and I'm quoting, suspected of right-wing extremism was justified. There you go. So isn't that discrimination based on group membership? Because if you have 5 people, let's say I have an organization, let's say my organization have 3 million people, right? 3 million members, and 5 of them commit a crime. The whole party is guilty because of that? Well, there is one ideology, and it's in the Old Testament, which is called collective punishment. We don't have that in the Roman law, if I remember correctly. But hey, we borrowed it from those guys from the Middle East because we are dumbasses. Collective punishment is, let's say, my father commits a crime, I'm guilty of the crime as well, by association being member of the family. So here, if you have some people in your party doing certain things, you have to make to a proportionality. How many? 5 people out of 3 million get lost. Charge those guys. If they broke the law, I'm okay with that. If the law is fair. If the law is as it is, niet. Remember, when these guys are going to come to power, what do you think they will do? They will not let them come to power. Next article. Associated Press. German court convicts a prominent far-right politician for using a Nazi, remember, Nazi slogan for a second time and impose a fine. Now, when I read it, I said, what the hell did this guy said? This said something like bad about the Jews, or something like inciting to violence, threatening or something. No. Guess what he said? I'm going to read it for you. German court convicts a prominent far-right politician for using a Nazi slogan for the second time and impose a fine. And that one was, that was, make Germany great, all for Germany. Unbelievable, my friends. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But hey, it is. Germany first. That's what the expression was. Germany. But hey, here's a slogan. That's a slogan. So you can't obviously say anything. And that was the one. It's very interesting now because I can't find the right... I find the article, but it ends right here. And I read it on my telephone. You see over there? This is the whole article. And I found it on, and it says, Germany first. That's the slogan he read. Now, how many words did Stalin say? And Stalin was a criminal, right, for some. How many words did Hitler say? How many clothes, what kind of clothes? Did Stalin wear ever a black shirt? So, me wearing this, am I associated with that guy? So this kind of slogan, yes, all Germany first. Who do you want to be first? Who do you want to be first? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So Germany first, that was the little slogan said. Yes, Romania first for a Romanian, America first for the American, Israel first for an Israeli. Why would you even have a country if you don't fight for your country? Why would you defend your country if you can't have it first? Who do you expect to have first? Hungary should say Romania first, and the Romanians should say Hungary first. And then you're going to ask, why first? Why everyone first? That means, imagine all the people, that garbage song. No borders and all that. That's why these guys like that song very much. All right? Because it's such a imagine no religion too, no borders, no countries. Excuse me, you. All right? And that's for that guy. You like him? I like him to a certain extent. I don't like hypocrisy. And that's why this song is basically promoted. It is a nice song. I like it. But it's a very, very not good song in that direction. And now let me show you this. Germany's laws of hate speech, Nazi propaganda and Holocaust denial. Explainer. This is a front line from PBS right here. And you're going to find the German Penal Code, Section 130. That's what we're going to look for. Section 130 in the German Penal Code. And that tells us that, and I'm going to go back here, Section 130. I've been aware of this for many years because of not only Zundel, Ernst Zundel and others, if you know what I mean, or Mr. David Irvin and others, okay? You get arrested for denying certain things. So here is Section 130. Remember it, go and read it on your own. Section 130 of the German Criminal Code criminalizes certain types of hate speech. That should not be. Hate speech, you can hate how much you want. If you act upon it, then you can get by action. If, let's say, I act violently against a person and I call that person whatever, and it's okay, then this adds to the penalty of battering, of assault. It's not a hate speech law on its own, in America at least. Free people, right? Land of the brave, home of the free, or the other way around. The laws ban incitement to hatred and insults. I'm okay with incitement to hatred. Well, incitement to activity. That's what it should be. But anyway, that assault human dignity. Well, Human dignity, what do you mean? They say, well, you have the right to live. I don't think anyone has the right to live. I'll tell you why. If we have the right to live, then why are the children, and why are the children, the babies dying in infancy? If they have a right to live. It seems like someone else determined they don't have a right to live. I'm not for, it's just philosophical question. And more than that. Against people pop, and he says in post-World War II Germany, it has been used to prosecute racist and anti-Semitic threats and slurs. So if you say something like this, threats, I understand with the threats, but slurs? And it carries a sentence of up to 5 years in prison. Ask Mr. Zundel and Mr. Historian David Irvin about it. Yeah, both bad dudes. Okay, now, applaud, YouTube. It says here, right there. You see that? I'm going to read it for you. The law was expanded to explicitly ban Holocaust denial in 1994 after a federal appeals court overturned the sentence of a far-right German politician who had organized a lecture describing the gassing of Jews as Auschwitz as a... Now I'm going to say it. So, you can't say things like this. They decided. Freedom of speech. So, it's criminalized. He said Germany first. He's going to get, what was the name of that? Convicts. Proeminent, because he said Germany first. You can't say Romania first. You can't say America first, but you can say others first. Freedom of speech, my friends. Freedom of speech. There's no freedom of speech. Remember, we live in a manufactured, veneered, like matrix, and we have to speak out, and we have to speak up, and we have to say loud and clear, the emperor has no clothes. Why? That would benefit the baboons as well, but the baboons with their little limited circle of understanding, they think that banning stuff that they don't like will get the society more good, more kind. The imbeciles, because they have ignorance, they don't look back in history and understand that's the first step that would be turned against them. They allow themselves, the baboons, this infantile population that ban them, are never gonna ban us because I'm good. They think they're good, and nobody's gonna harm them because they're good, and let other people control how the society is ran, including their lives, because they don't have many desires. They drink their soybean latte, then lactate. They don't have pussies anymore. They have pussies now. Squeaky, that's all. This is what they are. They don't have too much here. They want to drink, watch TV, drink beer, and watch some decent music of whatever. Yes, my friends, they will be first going to be slapped around. And you know what? It's going to be too late for them. There's so much naivete, and they vote. That's something that's wrong with democracy. What's wrong with democracy? Baboons voting. No, baboons should learn. That's why I designed a system in one of my books, A Better Society We Should Create, that I published on Amazon. You can find it, one of the 3 I published. And then I explained how this thing could be solved based on ability, mental and knowledge. You're going to have tests. You have the exams of how much you know about the political system. You can't let any baboon that wants to eat something vote for the person who's going to give them something to eat, but on the other hand, be in a cage. Remember, I'd rather be thin but free than fat and in the cage. These guys rather are fat in a cage, so caged, than free and a little bit harsher life. Why? Because weaker organisms like democracy. Why? Because they're more numerous. And they were going to outvote the strong organisms. That's what they do. That's why democracy is so loved. And who has the mass media in the hand and the entertainment industry, plus the television, the schools, the education, will create weak organisms. Because weak organisms are going to be cowards. And you can push people around with lack of knowledge and with lack of courage. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong. Stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. God damn it.